Today we're breaking down what problems does Bitcoin solve? Welcome to Bitcoin Bytes HQ, simple Bitcoin explainers. This is educational content only, not financial advice. Let's go! This topic matters right now because most of us use money every single day, yet almost never stop to ask why it feels harder to get ahead. We work, save, and plan using a system that looks stable but quietly changes over time. Prices rise, savings feel weaker, long-term planning becomes harder. Bitcoin didn't emerge to make things exciting. It emerged to address slow, structural problems that affect almost everyone. One of the biggest problems is long-term loss of purchasing power. In simple terms, money buys less over time. To put real numbers on this, about 50 years ago, $100 could buy roughly what $700 to $800 buys today. That means the US dollar has lost around 85% of its purchasing power over that period. The number in your account may go up, but what it can actually buy steadily goes down. This happens because new money is constantly created. When the total amount of money increases, each existing unit represents a smaller share of the economy. Bitcoin was designed to avoid this. Its supply is fixed and capped. No committee can vote to create more later. It's like owning a percentage of a company that will never issue new shares. Your ownership doesn't get diluted without your consent. That scarcity is reinforced by proof of work. In plain language, new Bitcoin require real-world energy and computation to produce. There is a real cost to creation, similar to mining gold from the ground. You can't shortcut it, and you can't change the rules quietly. That cost makes scarcity believable rather than promised. Another problem Bitcoin addresses is how new money enters the economy. This is often called the Cantillon effect, but the idea itself is straightforward. When new money is created, it doesn't appear in everyone's wallet at the same time. It enters through banks, financial institutions, and large asset holders first. Those closest to the source get to spend it before prices rise. For the average person, this shows up in very practical ways. Wages tend to rise last, while asset prices rise first. Homes, stocks, and financial assets inflate early, while everyday costs like rent, food, and energy rise later. Even if you save responsibly, you're often running just to stand still. Bitcoin removes this advantage by issuing new coins on a public schedule that anyone can verify. No one gets early access because of status or connections. Bitcoin also offers an exit from constant devaluation. You don't have to overthrow a system to protect yourself from it. You can step outside it. Bitcoin provides an alternative set of rules that don't change during emergencies or political pressure. It's not about quick gains. It's about using a measuring stick that doesn't quietly shrink. Portability is another issue traditional money struggles with. Gold is heavy, property can't move, bank balances depend on permission. Bitcoin allows value to be secured digitally and backed up with a simple recovery phrase. It's like turning a heavy safe into something you can carry rather than something bolted to the floor. All of this works because of shared rules. Thousands of independent computers called full nodes verify those rules. Most people use Bitcoin Core, the reference software, though alternatives exist. The software name matters less than the rules being enforced. Nodes act like referees with identical rulebooks, checking the game without trusting each other. With that foundation in place, let's look at some common misunderstandings about the financial system itself.
One common misunderstanding is that inflation is just prices going up randomly. In reality, inflation usually comes from expanding the money supply. More money competes for the same goods. For everyday people, this means needing raises just to maintain the same lifestyle. Even careful savers feel punished over time, not because they made bad choices, but because the rules changed around them. Another misunderstanding is believing banks simply store your money. When you deposit funds, most of that money is lent out. Your balance is a promise, not a sealed box with your name on it. This works fine until stress enters the system. Bitcoin changes this by allowing direct ownership. If you control your keys, you don't need permission to access your money. A third misconception is that payment controls only affect criminals. In reality, ordinary people experience frozen accounts, delayed transfers, and blocked payments every day. Sometimes it's a mistake, sometimes it's policy. Bitcoin's permissionless design means transactions are processed based on rules, not opinions. If the rules are met, the payment goes through. When I first learned about money, I assumed inflation was unavoidable and mostly harmless. I thought losing a little purchasing power each year was just normal. What changed my thinking was seeing how unevenly those losses are distributed. People closest to newly created money benefit first, while everyone else absorbs the cost. Another early belief was that trust was unavoidable. I assumed some central authority always had to be in charge. Learning how independent verification works showed me that trust can be reduced. Instead of hoping institutions act fairly, you can verify that rules are followed. That shift changed how I think about money, systems, and power. Bitcoin also enables new financial infrastructure. Transactions can include simple conditions, similar to escrow, without relying on middlemen. Public ledgers allow anyone to audit activity at any time. These tools reduce reliance on opaque systems where decisions happen out of sight. Stepping back, Bitcoin solves problems by changing the foundation. It protects savings by fixing supply. It reduces unfair advantages by removing privileged access to new money. It restores ownership by separating money from permission, and it strengthens privacy and resilience by spreading verification across the globe. A simple next step is to observe how money loses value over time. For example, visit in2013dollars.com and enter an amount like $100 from 1970 or 1980. See how much that same money would buy today. This simple exercise makes inflation and the Cantillon effect tangible and easy to understand. That's what problems does Bitcoin solve, simplified. If this helped, like, share, and subscribe for more Bitcoin explainers. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next one.